guys, let me introduce myself. My name is Irniawati Sonia from class 1P of the Information System Study Program. This time I will explain material about English clauses. Happy listening guys! A clause is a group of words that has a subject or noun and a predicate or verb. A clause is unit of language that has meaning and can fulfill syntactic function in a sentence so that a simple sentence is formed. In the Big Indonesian Dictionary, it is explained that a clause is a grammatical unit that contains a predicate and has the potential to become a sentence. Suherlan and Odion Rosidin also explained the same thing in the book Ihwal Lingui and its copy. A clause is defined as a syntactic unit in the form of the series of words with a predicative construction. There are components in the form of phrases as predicates, while other function as subject, object, and information. Clauses can have the potential to become declarative or news, imperative or command, and interrogative or question. Sentences, if given a final intonation, in contrast to words or phrases which have the potential to become sentence, but only as minor sentence. Goris Keraf, a leading linguist in Indonesia, explained that a clause is a construction in which there are several words containing functional relationships within all grammar where noun, a subject, predicate, object, and description. Lingui figure and professor of linguistics at Padjadjaran University, Yusuf Syarif Badudu, explained that a clause is a sentence that is part of larger sentence. Rusmaji, a clause is an element in a sentence where the majority of the sentence consists of two clauses. Ha'alwi, a clause is a syntax consisting of two or more words that contain predicate elements. Jair, clause is a form of syntax that has a predicate. What this means is that sentence has a predicate. If there is not, then the sentence is not called a predicate. Arifin, a clause is grammatical unit in the form of combination of words consisting of a subject and predicate. This clause can be used as sentence. Pay attention to the following sentence. Each sentence has two clauses. Let's find a table that gets sunlight. This sentence consists of two clauses, namely, let's find a table which gets sunlight or the table gets sunlight. Clause explanation. Take a look at this sentence. A car stops when they see the red flag. This sentence has two clauses. 1. All the cars stopped. The subject of this clause is all the cars, and the predicate or verb is stop. We can see that this clause is in bold because it is a main clause or independent clause. One, clauses that function as adjectives. Example, my friend who subject has verb. Autis is very good at quizzes. To prove that it is an adjective. My autistic friend is really good at quizzes. Adjective. 2. Clauses that function as adverb. Example, he gained weight when he stopped running. To prove that it is an adverb, he gained weight quickly. 3. Clauses that function as nouns. Example, I can remember what happened last night. To prove that it is a noun. I cannot remember anything or anything. Clause characteristic. The following are some characteristics of clauses. 1. A clause is a grammatical unit consisting of a subject, predicate, as well as an object and information. 2. Can fulfill a syntactic function in a sentence. 3. Has a complete meaning. 4. Can be formed as part of another sentence. 5. In the form of a series of constructive words. 6. There are no supramental elements, such as commas, periods, exclamation marks, or question marks. 7. At least consists of subject and predicate. Types of clauses. All clauses are categorized as follows. 1. Independent clause or main. Independent clauses function as complete sentence. For example, John ate 8. 2. Dependent clause or subordinate tense. Dependent clauses function like adjective, adverbs, or nouns. So, there are 3 types of dependent clauses. Below are examples of each. A. Clauses that function like adjectives. For example, John ate the chicken egg. Compare the sentence above with this sentence. John ate 3 rainy chicken eggs. The clause the chicken laid an egg proves that this clause functions like adjective clause. The subject of the dependent clause is his chickens and the predicate verb of the dependent clause is lie. B. Clauses that function like adverb. For example, John eat eggs when his chicken laid him. Compare the sentence above with his sentence. John eats eggs all the time. The clause when the chicken lay eggs proves that this clause works like an adverb. It is an adverb of time. C. Clauses that function like nouns. For example, John ate what the chicken scarred. Compare the sentence above with This sentence, John ate egg. The clause, does the chicken lay eggs, proves that this clause works. Noun because the noun clause is part of an independent clause. Further explanation regarding clauses. Remember that there are two types of clauses, namely 1. Independent or main clause. Independent clauses can stand alone as completed sentence. For example, I like to read the book I bought yesterday. This sentence consists of two clauses, namely, I like reading book, independent clause, with I booked yesterday, dependent clause. 2. Dependent or subordinate clause. Dependent clause is supporting part of sentence. Example, they live in a blue house. This sentence consists of two clauses, namely, they live in the house, independent clause, which is blue, dependent clause. Dependent clauses can play various roles in sentence. Therefore, a dependent clauses can function as adjectives, adverbs, or nouns. A. Adjective clause. An adjective clause is a multi-word adjective that includes a subject and verb. Components of an adjective clause. Adjective clauses, also called relative clauses, have the following three characteristics. Characteristic 1. Adjective clauses begin with relative pronouns who, whom, whose, that, or which, or relative adverbs when, where, or why. Relative pronouns or relative adverb connect the adjective clause with the noun it modifies. Note: often relative pronoun can be omitted. However, with adjective clause, it is always possible to include it. Trait 2. Adjective clauses have a subject and a predicate or verb. The subject and predicate make it a clause. Trait 3. An adjective clause will tell us something about the noun it modifies. That is why adjective clauses are the type of adjective. B. Adverbial clause. An adverbial clause is a group of words that act as adverbs. Like all clauses, adverbial clauses contain a subject and verb. Properties of adverbial clauses. The following are the characteristics of adverbial clauses. Adverbial clauses are dependent clauses. This means that the sentence cannot stand alone as a sentence that has its own meaning. Adverbial clauses usually begin with a subordinating conjunction, for example, although, because, if, until, when, and so on. Adverbial clauses contain a subject, noun, and a predicate verb. This is what makes it a clause, not a phrase. See noun clause. A noun clause is a clause that acts as a noun. Noun clause composition. A clause has a subject and verb and function as one part of speech. Therefore, noun clauses function as nouns in a sentence. Many noun clauses begin with that, how, or where, a, what, who, with, when, where, or why. Clauses in Indonesian are very different. Clauses can be differentiated based on their categories. A. Based on the completeness of the structure. This type of clause is divided into two types, namely complete clauses and incomplete clauses. 1. Complete clause. Clause consists of subject, predicate, when here accompanied by an object, complement, and information or not. General complete clauses. The usual arrangement, namely the predicate, is located in the subject. Example, the antidote to COVID-19 has just been discovered. Complete clause inversion. Unusual arrangement, namely the predicate precedes the subject. Example, just discovered antidote for COVID-19. 2. Incomplete clause. A clause that only has a predicate element and no subject element. This clause usually appears in answer sentence and compound sentence as a result of combining it with another clause with the same subject. Example, several types of disease can become endemic, clause 1, and the transmitted to humans, clause 2. Clause 2 is an example of an included clause because it does not contain a subject. The subject has been omitted and represented in clause 1. B. Based on the use of negative words. This type of clause is divided into two types, namely positive clauses and negative clauses. 1. Positive clause. A clause that does not have a negative word in its predicate. Example, they welcomed the discovery of an antidote to this virus with joy. 2. Negative clause. Clauses that have negative or denying word in their predicate. Example, they did not welcome you happily. C. Based one word clause on predicate elements. Clauses based on word clause are divided into several types, namely 1. Noun clause. Clause was predicates and subject are nouns. Example, expert staff in the field of meteorology. Expert staff, subject, meteorology, predicate. 2. Verb clause. Clauses was predicates or verb. Example, farmer worked on their field diligently. Farmer, subject, working on their field, predicate, diligently adverb. C. Adjective verb clause. The predicate clause expresses an active action. Example, Mr. Theater teaches his students. Subject Mr. Theater, predicate teaches. 4. Passive verb clauses. Clause whose predicate express a passive action. Example, the salted fish was stolen by a cat. Subject salted fish, predicate stolen. 5. Reflexive or medial verb clauses. A clause that indicates an action regarding the perpetrator of the action himself. Usually, verbs are in the form of the verb me and followed by the word self. Example, he is contemplating his own fate. Subject who acts as both perpetrator and victim him. 6. Reciprocal verb clauses. A verb clause whose predicate expresses mutual or reciprocal action. This verb has the form saling, me, and ber an. Example, I shook hands with him this morning. Predicate that expresses a reciprocal relationship between subject and object shaking hands. Subject and object me him. D. Based on arguments. Based on the argument, verb clauses are divided into two types, namely 1. Transitive verb clauses. A clause whose predicate consists a word or verb phrase that requires an object or complement. This clause is further divided into three types, namely transitive 1. A verb clause whose predicate is followed by an object. Example, researchers have found a drug to prevent COVID-19. The subject is the researchers, the predicate has been found, and the object is a drug to prevent COVID-19. With transitive, a verb clause whose predicate is followed by an object and a complement. Example, seasonal symptoms can indicate that someone is suffering from the coronavirus. The subject is the general symptom the predicate can indicate, and the object is sufferer, and the complement is the coronavirus. Semi-transitive. A verb clause whose predicate is followed by complement. Example, COVID-19 is a new disease. The subject is COVID-19, the predicate is, and the complement is a new disease. Intransitive verb clauses. A verb clause whose predicate consists of word or phrase that does not require an object or complements. Example, this epidemic has spread. The subject is this epidemic and the predicate has spread. Adjectival clause. A clause whose predicate is an adjective. Example, the researchers were really great. The subject is a noun, namely the researchers, and the predicate is an adjective, namely very great. Numeralia, clause. A clause whose predicate is a numbered word. Example, researchers are the zone of expert. The subject is a noun, namely the researchers, and the predicate is an adjective, namely the sense of expert. Prepositional clauses. Clause whose predicate is preposition. Example, we are going to school tomorrow. The subject is a noun, namely we. The predicate is a preposition, namely we are going to school, and the adverb is tomorrow. A. Based on position in the sentence. Clauses are divided into two types, namely independent clauses and dependent clauses. 1. Independent clause. Complete clause that can stand alone as a perfect sentence. In compound sentence, independent clauses have main status. In fact, the clause is considered the main sentence. Theory 4. Independent clauses are often called main clauses or core clauses. Example, they continue to investigate the coronavirus until they find an antidote. The main clause is that they continue to investigate the coronavirus, and the subordinate clause is when they will find an antidote. 2. Bound clause. A clause that is part of another clause. Bound clauses are also called subordinate clauses, embedded clauses, non-final clauses, or subordinate clauses. Example, when the rain stopped, we decided to go to rainy house. The subordinate clause is when the rain stopped, and the main clause we decided to go to rainy house. D. Clause vs. phrase. Clauses differ from phrases in that phrases do to contain subject and predicate verb. A clause is an independent statement that conveys thought or ideas. If a combination of words contains a subject and a verb, it is considered a clause. While phrases have a combination of words that do not convey meaning and cannot stand alone. The clear difference between clauses and phrases can be seen sheet by sheet in following table. Anna sings, she wake up. This is a clause. It has a subject he and a verb wake up. Anna sings in the morning. This is explanation. There is no subject and no predicate or verb. Okay, that's all my explanation regarding the English clauses material. Sorry, is my explanation is lacking and theory are missing word. Thank you. Bye.